You're too proud to accept help from your own family, my brother Marcus declared at Thanksgiving dinner, pointing his fork at me like a weapon of moral superiority. I calmly opened my laptop, turned the screen toward the table, and scrolled through 3 years of bank statements. Funny definition of pride. Here's $47,000 in debt payments I've made for this helpful family while you all called me selfish. The dining room fell silent except for the grandfather clock ticking in the hallway, counting the seconds until they'd have to face the truth about who'd really been too proud to ask for help. My name is Delia, and I'm 31 years old. Sitting at my parents' table that Thursday evening, watching 5 faces cycle through shock, disbelief, and shameful recognition, I felt the exhaustion of 3 years of secret payments finally lifting from my shoulders. The turkey grew cold as they stared at the evidence of their hypocrisy, laid out in neat columns of withdrawals and transfers. "That's impossible," my sister Vanessa whispered, her wine glass frozen halfway to her lips. "You work at a nonprofit. You drive a 10-year-old Honda." "Exactly," I said, clicking to the next spreadsheet. "While you assumed I was broke and stubborn, I was working 60-hour weeks between 2 jobs to keep this family afloat. But please, tell me more about how I'm too proud to accept help." The story they'd constructed about me was convenient. Delia the martyr, Delia the stubborn, Delia who insisted on struggling alone rather than accepting family support. They'd shared this narrative at every gathering, every phone call, every concerned conversation with extended relatives. Poor Delia, too proud to let anyone help. The truth was messier and cut deeper than their fiction. "Mom's medical bills," I continued, highlighting a section. $23,000 over 18 months. The ones from her surgery that insurance wouldn't cover. Remember when you all had that family meeting about how to handle them? The one you didn't invite me to because I wouldn't be able to contribute anyway? Mom's face went pale. "Richard said he handled those." "Richard said he'd handle them," I corrected, glancing at my older brother. "What he actually did was make 2 payments, miss 3, then forward the collection notices to me with a note saying he was temporarily strapped. I've been paying them off at $1,300 a month." "But I offered to help you with your student loans," Richard protested. "You turned me down. You offered to help by co-signing a refinance that would have put my loans in your name for a tax write-off," I shot back. "Meanwhile, you couldn't manage Mom's medical bills you'd already promised to handle. Forgive me for not trusting your financial assistance." "This is ridiculous," Vanessa interjected. "If you've been paying all this, why hide it? Why let us think?" "Think what? That I was poor? Struggling? Too proud?" I laughed, but it was sharp. "When exactly would I have told you? During the family meetings I wasn't invited to? During the financial planning sessions you excluded me from? During one of the dinners where you all discussed my pride problem, like I wasn't sitting right there?" My father, who'd been uncharacteristically silent, finally spoke. "The house payments." "Ah, yes." I clicked to another tab. "The second mortgage you took out for the investment opportunity, that went belly up. 6 months of missed payments before the bank started foreclosure proceedings. I've been covering those $2 $100 a month." "How did you even know?" he demanded. "Because unlike the rest of you, I actually read the mail that comes to this house when I visit. Amazing what you learn when you pay attention instead of assuming someone else will handle it." "But we would have helped," Mom insisted, tears starting. "If you'd just asked. Like Dad asked before taking out that second mortgage? Like Richard asked before defaulting on the medical bills? Like Vanessa asked before maxing out credit cards in Mom's name for her business venture?" I scrolled to another section. "Oh yes, I've been paying those down too. $17,000 in credit card debt that mysteriously appeared on Mom's credit report." Vanessa's face flushed. "That business was supposed to help the family. The MLM scheme that I warned you about? The one where you called me negative and unsupportive for pointing out it was a pyramid scheme." I shook my head. "Right. Very helpful. You're twisting everything," Marcus said, but his voice lacked conviction. "We're a family. We help each other. Do we?" I pulled up another document. "Let's talk about your help, Marcus. Remember when you borrowed $5,000 for the down payment on your house? Said you'd pay it back within 6 months. I've been meaning to. For 4 years." I interrupted. "Or how about the car repair loan? The moving expenses? The temporary help with your divorce lawyer? 22,000 total, all told. All while you've been telling people I'm too proud to accept help from family." The silence that followed was suffocating. They'd all been so comfortable with their narrative. Poor, proud Delia, suffering needlessly. that they'd never questioned why I never actually asked for anything. You want to know why I never told you? I closed the laptop. Because every single one of you equates needing help with weakness. You've all hidden your debts, your failures, your struggles. Dad hid the second mortgage until foreclosure notices arrived. Richard hid his inability to pay Mom's bills. Vanessa hid her credit card scheme. Marcus hides behind, I've been meaning to for 4 years. That's different, Richard argued. We were protecting the family. From what? Reality. I stood, exhaustion hitting me like a wave. You were protecting your images. Your pride. And I was quietly cleaning up the messes because someone had to, and I was the only one who could swallow my actual pride enough to work 2 jobs instead of maintaining appearances. Why? Mom asked quietly. Why did you do it? Because despite everything, I love you idiots, I said simply. Because Dad would have lost the house he built with his own hands. Because Mom needed those surgeries. Because letting bills go to collections would have destroyed credit scores and futures. Because family helps family, even when that family is too proud to admit they need help. But you let us think you were struggling, Vanessa accused. I am struggling, I laughed bitterly. Do you know what it's like to make $45,000 a year at a nonprofit while secretly paying off $47,000 in family debts? I eat ramen 5 nights a week. I haven't taken a vacation in 3 years. I wear thrift store clothes and drive a car that breaks down monthly because every extra penny goes to keeping this family's secrets buried. We'll pay you back, Richard said quickly. All of it. With what? I asked. The money you don't have? The same money that wasn't there for Mom's bills or Dad's mortgage or Marcus's loans. You'll pay me back with good intentions and promises, just like always. Then what do you want? Dad's voice was rough. You've made your point. We're terrible. We're hypocrites. What now? I pulled out a folder I'd brought. Now you face reality. I've set up payment plans in each of your names. The medical bills go back to Richard. The mortgage stays with Dad. Vanessa takes over the credit cards. Marcus, here's a promissory note for what you owe. I'm done enabling this family's pride disguised as principle. You can't just, Marcus started. Walk away. I finished. Watch me. I've spent 3 years being called too proud to accept help by the very people I was helping. 3 years of you all feeling superior about your concern for me while I was drowning to keep you afloat. 3 years of being excluded from family financial discussions because I couldn't contribute while secretly contributing everything. Delia, please. Mom reached for my hand. We didn't know. Because you didn't want to know. It was easier to believe I was too proud than to admit you were too proud to ask your poor daughter for help. Easier to maintain the fiction that I was the problem rather than face your own financial failures. I gathered my things, leaving the folder on the table. The payment information is all there. The bills will start coming to you next month. I suggest you figure out how to handle them without the family member who is too proud to be included in your financial planning. You're abandoning us, Vanessa said desperately. No, I corrected. I'm giving you what you always said I needed. The opportunity to swallow your pride and ask for help. From each other, from banks, from credit counselors. From anyone except the daughter you've spent 3 years pitying for her pride problem. I headed for the door, then paused. Oh, and that nonprofit I work for? I just got promoted to executive director. 60,000 salary increase. Funny thing, when you're not secretly paying off family debts, you can actually excel at your job instead of just surviving. You got promoted? Mom's voice was small. When? 2 months ago. But you never asked about my work, did you? Too busy worrying about my pride to show any interest in my life. I opened the door. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for the opportunity to finally stop enabling this family's delusions. Consider it my gift to you. The chance to actually help each other instead of letting pride disguise itself as principle. I left them there with their cold turkey and hot shame. My phone started buzzing before I reached my car, but I didn't check it. I knew what they'd say. Variations of anger, guilt, desperation. The same emotions they'd hidden for years behind concern for my pride. As I drove away from the house I'd helped save 3 times over, I thought about the promotion I'd kept secret. The raise that would finally let me breathe. The future I could build without the weight of their debts on my shoulders. They called me too proud to accept help. The truth was, I was the only one humble enough to give it without needing credit. But that ended tonight. Their pride was their problem now. And my problem? Figuring out what to do with money that was finally, actually mine.